I'm Andrew Wilkie.
And I'm Hilary Wilkie. We are second generation avocado growers, and we are located in Morro Bay, California, about halfway between Los Angeles and the Bay Area on the coast. This grove was started by my dad, R.B. Kitzman, back in 1980. He didn't start with all the trees at once. He started with an acre and then added from there, and he's always tried to do his very best with soil analysis, leaf analysis. His water production is very important to him, what he puts on the trees.
Yeah, trying to keep it as natural and as good for the environment as he can, honestly, from the very beginning. So it's been a really neat project for him.
As my dad is getting closer to retirement, he has been wanting to transition into having Andrew and I be more hands-on on the farm. And it's something we've wanted to do for a long time. And we've always tried to come alongside him, learn the ropes, and it's just ramping up now with more and more. And it's been wonderful to get to know all the community that are the avocado growers and the people that support in this area, and through California Avocado Commission and everyone that we've gotten to know.
It's been interesting. My initial career was in teaching science, and it's really neat to be able to come alongside and see what RB has done, whether it's with his water production or other things, and to be able to start putting a little bit more of a experimental method behind it to keep track of things as we're growing. I mean, it's been 42 years since he started, and he's very interested in keeping things that way, becoming more organized, and to see if production can be increased or at least maintained while being great for the environment. So,
in our family orchard, it is so much more than just production. It's a way of life. It's a thing that our whole family likes to take a part in, and I mean intergenerational.
Yes, as a matter of fact, the grandchildren of RB have been married here in this orchard. It has become something that the whole family appreciates and values. And looking to the future is something that we want to maintain, again, as a legacy. RB has actually created something that I'm not sure he knew what he was planning at that point, but it has become this thing, and it's a beautiful thing to see for the family.
I was raised on Kitzman Fairhaven Avocado Orchard, and it's always been just a peaceful place of home to me. When I became a young adult, I got married, and I also studied computer science, thinking that I would be a programmer. And you know, life takes turns, and I ended up being a stay-at-home mom and raising 4 kids over a big span and homeschooling all of them and enjoying every second of it. And a lot of that would be days out here, just spent running around and learning to help Papa and things on the farm.
With Hilary sacrificing and devoting herself to our children and the development of the next generation, I found myself, teaching high school. I've always loved teaching. I enjoy sciences. And so with my degree, I got into teaching. Done a number of things on the sides. Actually worked as a waiter here in town at a restaurant that's been around for a long time. Continue to do art, and we've had our hands in a lot of different things. But this has always been home, and it's always been something worth having, and to help support her goal for our children, to be able to come out here every day with them, and really to have them in a very peaceful, fair haven.
We are now at a place of transitioning from my dad running pretty much everything to him handing over the reins to Andrew and myself, and it's an exciting time. We have been learning and gleaning from my dad for a long time, and I think that's going to continue for a long time. He has so much knowledge from doing this for a very long time, and the community here has so much to offer with the different specialists and things. And so I feel like my role is a lot of finances, paperwork, getting things really straight, and Andrew's kind of the manual labor on the job, and I think it's going to be a really great fit, and we're excited that my dad has the faith in us to be able to do this and have it keep going for the next generation.
It feels very much like we're coming alongside, and his knowledge is pouring out into us as we ask questions and are learning. And why did you do this, RB? What was your thought behind this? And recognizing there was a lot of wisdom behind what he did. You're seeing the fruit of that, figuratively and literally, in this area here. But he still does so much as far as recommendations and any of the things that we're not sure of. I mean, he's there to bounce ideas off of, and we sit down and we'll actually talk about those. And that's very nice, exceptional to have at this point. We're not starting off cold turkey from anything, and that's huge.
Our grove here is approximately 8 acres of trees, so we're considered a small farm, and we have approximately 1,000 trees with about 800 in production right now because we're always in a process of trimming and pruning.
Yeah, and there's some trees that will need to be replaced now and then. And we have quite a few varieties. The type that really is going to make it to market for us is the Hass avocado. But in working with pollination, and that's a big thing to try to increase your crop size, we have Zutano and then Bacon as well. Both of those are the thinner skin, the green skin. They don't travel so well, so it's hard sometimes to sell those. But we like them, and in the local areas here, they're happy to get them. They don't get dinged up. We also have others, Lamb Hass. We have one that Arby basically set up his own little trial orchard on the side. So we have Surprise, Lamb Hass, like I mentioned, Fuerte, I believe.
I think so.
A few different ones, just seeing, because Morro Bay is such a special climate. And again, California avocados, here, the amount of time they spend on the tree, the actual fruit itself, here will spend at least a year and 2 or 3 months in general, and it can be up to almost 2 years. As growers, you don't necessarily want to make it go 2 years because the new fruit won't develop as well, but it makes it so creamy. The oil content and the flavor is just so rich.
In order to be good stewards of our earth and of our farm here and our resources, it's always in the forefront of our mind. Water is huge for us, and how we can use what we have to the best of our ability with the trees, not overwatering, watering properly without losing water when we water. And also we also use natural leaf mulch. And when we do end up pruning, we end up using our own trees for chipping and using for our mulch here in the orchard.
We're able to, on these 8 acres, basically water in 8 different groupings, and they're watered only once a week. We do it at night so that it stops the evaporation. Again, water being a major concern in our state, and rightly so. We want to do what we can in those cases for that. The mulch, we try to keep everything in this orchard from this orchard, so if we do any pruning, any trimming, it gets chipped up and put right back on the soil because it maintains that moisture and lets us use less per tree. And we do monitor that. We actually have monitors out there, so we're taking, again, a pretty scientific approach on that. On most farms, we are dependent upon wells for our water. Electricity is needed to bring that water up out of the ground, and here we're able to use the solar panels. We've put in solar panels, and of course here in the state of California we're trying to go green and renewable, and that helps reduce our pull on that electric grid, which here in the state it can be an issue at times. The California avocado harvest begins in the spring and runs through late summer, sometimes a little bit longer.
So when you're in the store, look for the California avocado label, the best.